energy. What is it? How do we use it? How do you utilize the unknown force that is free to everyone, and if used correctly, it can do the humanly impossible, but only impossible to those who have never experienced it. You've seen chi masters on YouTube, everywhere doing some things that is just, like, how they do that? Like lighting a paper on fire, sending energy through a group of people. Some of those guys get found out to be just total fakes. Saw one guy, he was an old Asian dude. Everybody, a master has to be Asian. He was an old Asian dude. And then he jumped in a ring. This dude was like 70. And okay, so this dude was 70, right? And his students, when he would touch them, they would all jump back and jump around, and they'd all do this circus, like, and it was just like, okay, is it real or not? And and each one would touch another one, and now, let me say this: chi energy can flow through whatever it wants to, or whatever you channel it through. It's an energy that is there, and if you know how to get on its frequency, you can utilize that energy. Okay, so so there's no doubt in my mind that chi energy can flow through a bunch of people if the conduit, which is you, channels it correctly. It can flow through any object at any distance. It is an ultimate power that is within reach. Now let's get it straight. It's not the Holy Ghost power, but it's not to say it's not a part of the Holy Ghost power, because the Holy Ghost is in itself all things. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. So it's not like you have to go to church to experience chi. Although if you go to church, who says that you're not experiencing some type of chi? You see where I'm going with that? It's like an algebraic equation, you know what I mean? Uh, but nonetheless, if you're used to, you know, the way the rhythm of it flows, hey, the trees are alive, the leaves are back, good to see them, then you'll understand chi. Now you see people, okay, so back to this chi master. So anyway, he's doing all this stuff, and he's putting all these people down with a simple twist of his hand or whatever, and they're falling over. It's like, come on, man, really? That's the part I didn't like. The part when he was sending energy through people, I was all for that. But then they're like, okay, we challenge you, since you're this master who can defeat anybody. They challenged him to some 25-year-old dude who was twice his weight, and he was, 3 times younger than him. And this dude was he was an MMA fighter, like he competes. And sure enough, this guy obliterated this old man, and they had to pull him off of him. And I was like, for one, if I was a young dude, I wouldn't have never took that. I'd have been like, hell no, I am not about to hit this old dude. No. And then when he took him down, like the old dude didn't even hit him once. And when he took him down, he just, like, he was on him and beating him. They had to pull him off of him. It's like, come on, bro. The competition was over a long time ago. You know what I mean? So, nonetheless, so there are some things about chi that, yes, I believe, I believe you can use what I heard in one cartoon. In the cartoons, everybody's and this one, of course, Asian type of character was like, told the other character, he was like, oh, the red chi. He was like, very, very dangerous to an opponent and also to its owner. Now, when I heard that, I was just like, okay, so he was summoning an energy that, if propelled correctly, it can put a hole through somebody, but it siphons your energy also. So I took that as to say it's possible that not all chi is good chi. You know, people have their yin and yang, and then you have the people will talk about their chakras all through their body. I don't get into chakras. Chakras to me is, it's not to say they don't exist, but chakra to me is when people start talking about it, they get into it seems like they're into mystics and get into magic to me. Now that may be my ignorance. So somebody who uses chakras can say, no, you're ignorant, meaning you don't know. Now, okay, fine. I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that and somebody can give me a lesson on chakra. We can do a tandem video. I don't mind. But nonetheless, a lot of times when I talk to people about chakra, I don't like the direction they're going. I don't like the use of other gods. I'm not trying to hear nothing about no Oni egg and all that and all these statues that they have up. I'm not trying to pray to some goddess of the. I'm not trying to hear none of that. There's only one God to me, and I'm cool with that. When you start dipping off into other gods, I don't want nothing to do with that at all. I don't even want to hear it. I've had even some people say, "Oh, we're witches," and we get off into. I'm like, nah, get off and talking to angelic forces that aren't even of God. I don't want to hear none about that. So, nonetheless, back to chi. Now, I have been very curious about chi and what chi can do because I saw a guy, use chi and the fire and all that. But I was like, man, how is he doing that? So I've been practicing, and recently I haven't been practicing with fire. I'm not even going in that direction. Uh, but I was also interested in the same individual because he was healing people. He was sending electric shocks through them, and I was interested in that. So I was more interested in the healing factor more than in the damage output. However, when you start dealing with chi and you don't know what it is, you can damage and heal pretty much in one stroke. So what I started doing was I started using it to when I was winded because I exercise a lot. So what I started doing was, and when I'm hurt, for pain. So like my back is always hurting. So what I do is I start channeling when I'm really in pain, and I'm sitting there in my chair watching a movie, and I'll just start channeling, and I'll notice I'll start feeling better. I mean, now some people can say, "Oh, it's a placebo. Oh, it's mind over matter," and it's just like, well, yeah, you're absolutely right. The conduit, which is me, that is drawing in this outer energy, that is a literal force of nature. I am using myself as a conduit to suck in this energy into my spirit to heal my body. See, your spirit will always be, your body will turn to dust one day. So, you are 99% spirit, you are 1% man. Know this, your spirit will live forever somewhere. Your body will live maybe 70 years, maybe 100 if you're one of the fortunate, you know. So I use it to, for pain. I don't know if it's. I don't think I'm using it. I don't think it's healing me, because I still have the same issues. But but when I just want to suck in like a little bit of it, I can feel myself feeling better. Now I also use it exercise. So let's just say that I just got done like boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because I get tired real quick. And I'm like, as soon as I channel that energy, I start breathing out my nose instead of my mouth. And I know I'm tired. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm how is this possible? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, how is this possible that I'm not winded anymore? And I mean, when I say it's immediate, it's immediate. What's up, man? Hey, my neighbor and this kid. So it's an immediate reaction. And I'm like, wow. So what I started doing was I said, well, let me see if I could use it while I'm exercising. So I swim now. I just started swimming this week. I haven't swam in years. Now I'm doing a whole going to pool, doing lap thing. Very, very, very exhausting. So I'm using it while I swim, and I really need it. And I use it while I do my punch outs when I'm hitting the bag. And I notice while I'm swimming and I'm using my chi, I'm not even close to being as tired as I usually am. And I'm using the same amount of energy, but I'm just channeling a little bit of it. Just channeling while I'm swimming. Especially when you're doing a cross stroke, it takes most energy. And I'm like, wow, this is really dope. And, when I'm hitting the bag and I'm doing punch outs as fast as I can, I channel the energy instead of just to my lungs. I channeled it to my hand, to my arms, to where my energy was coming from. And usually I'm tired after like 30 seconds. I'm like, but then I start using my chi right in the midst of me being tired, and I kept going. I was like, I got something here. You know what I mean? And I was like, what? Made me want to call my daddy. Daddy, I got something. But he only interested in money. What is it? How much is it? So I was like, yo, I got something here. So, my and I'm thinking, okay, now I can use that same energy when I'm gonna hit something hard once. I gotta pow. And sure enough, it works. So chi energy is free to everyone. If you know how to use it, what I'm saying, all those guys who are hitting bricks, I don't suggest you go out and do that, not unless you learn those techniques. I don't do any of that. I can't smash a brick with my head. I see a lot of those guys get concussions. I'm not suggesting you do that. What I'm suggesting you do is feel the energy around you wherever you're at. Wherever you're at right now, and I'm not going to Eckhart Tolle you, because that dude is just goofy. I'm not about to Eckhart Tolle and Oprah Winfrey you. Well, I'm just saying, feel the energy around you. It's a free energy, and channel your spirit. Don't start calling on some goofies, don't. Just channel your spirit. Just feel it. And suck in that free energy, man, and wherever the pain is, suck in that energy and direct it towards that pain. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are going to channel with their hands, because that's what we're used to doing. We channel. We reach out and channel with our hands. Let me tell you something. You don't have to channel with your hands. Your whole body is a conduit. Not just your hands. Your mind thinks, oh, reach out with your hands and it'll come to you. Now, you can do that, and it'll probably give you a more direct response and a more immediate response. But try to just do it with your spirit. Like, just have your spirit reach out. Like I just did. Like, ooh, it's strong, man. And I feel better already. Like, my back feels better. It's just, so I practice this constantly. And I'm just telling you guys, man, especially people who are sick, I'm not telling you not to call on Jesus, because, he is the reason why chi exists. I'm telling you to call on the Lord. Fine, call on him. I'm telling you, people who are non-believers, to call on Christ. Call on Jesus, Yeshua Christ. That's all fine and well. And your chi is involved in that. You know what I'm saying? It's all your spirit man. Your spirit man is huge. Your spirit man is a huge conduit trapped inside this body. It's not really trapped. It's inside this body for a reason. So you're stationary on this planet. But you got to understand that spirit world that you belong to is infinite. And all that power is yours. It's all yours. If you're working out, if somebody's working your nerves, it, if you're, I mean, if you're at work and having a hard time, I mean, all that, you can use your chi power and suck in all that energy, and just practice it. Okay, so if you want to, so let's go a couple rounds. Let's practice a couple rounds. All right, all right. See if you guys can feel it through the video. Ready? We're gonna do it. 1, 2, 3. 3. Suck it in. Suck it in. Suck it in. Suck all that energy in. Now let it out. You can also push and pull it. You can push and pull that chi. Now you see in some movies, like I was watching where it wasn't Ip Man, even though I know he uses chi also. It was another movie I was watching. Not good with my names today, but it was a guy who was using Tai Chi to fight. And when he was using Tai Chi, you know, he was using it as a martial arts, but nonetheless, when he went up against two guys, when he started losing, and they was like, "Are you afraid that you're gonna hurt them?" You know, they're beating him up. He's like, "Why aren't you using what you know?" And once he started using what he knew, it's pretty much lights out. You know, he just kicked her butt. I'm not telling you that you can go out and just start destroying people. I'm telling you that there's a resource that not one person on earth can stop you from using. And it is vital. If you learn how to use it, you can actually survive through something that would normally just kill you off, or it can make you mentally stronger. Because a lot of people, we're defeated up here. Half of our problem, actually probably 80% of our problem is here. You know, you don't have money because your mind doesn't think about how to go out and get it. You know, because your mind is on something or someone else. That's the problem. Your mind, you know, but when somebody or something comes into your life and says redirect, refocus that energy, you know what I'm saying, over here, next thing you know, you paid. You got everything you wanted. You know what I'm saying? We got some friends around us that ain't no good. Negative energy. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. You can see what they're doing. And if you want to continue to be negative with them, then you're going to get a negative energy in return. That's just a simple fact. So you can push and pull that chi, and you can make it a physical thing. And you can push and pull it and touch physical things, and there'll be a physical reaction. Now, as far as the fire and all that is concerned, I'm going to say this. I believe every bit of it. I believe that chi through man, channeled through man, can cause a literal explosion. And Bruce Lee was one of the people who was using chi to its fullest. He was 135 pounds, and when he hit it, when he hit those ice blocks that was 200-300 pounds and shattered them, he was using his chi to send his chi right through those ice blocks, and they shattered. That's chi power. He was a phenomenal example of what chi can do, and nonetheless, he was not even close to its epitome. He wasn't even close. He wasn't even close to what chi can actually do for a person who concentrates on it. Look, I'm not saying don't concentrate on the Lord. I'm saying when you concentrate on chi, involve your spirituality and your the life that you sacrifice to and for Christ into that, and see how much power you only create, produce, and release into to the atmosphere. You'll see how much power that people around you start to like realize, like you start to glow, like literally. There's some people who actually started to float. You know, you start commanding elements, wind, water. Christ did it. Christ told the wind to be still. He told the water to be still. The disciples did the same thing. So I'm telling you, that energy is there for you. You want to go another round? Come on, let's go another round because my back felt great. And we're going to draw on a bunch of it. Usually when I draw on that much energy, it's you know, I'm not going to do that out here. We're going to get a bunch of it. Ready? Here we go. Whew. Whew. That's a lot of it. That's too much. That's too much out here in public. People are looking at me like I'm crazy. Ooh, that's a lot of chi. It's your boy Tone 202. Get your chi right.